So okay, so let me address the Snyder people real quick. Let me
What?
address
Who are those?
yeah, let me
Please show
address
them. Point them out, Brian.
let
Who's
me
the Snyder people?
Nowhere on this panel.
yeah, let me address the Snyder. I guess I don't want to call him the Snyder cult, but like you
Okay,
guys
the fans or the extremists?
the, probably
The
both.
extremists.
Probably
I'm a
both.
fan, but I'm not an extremist. So I'm in
Right.
one camp, but I'm not in the other.
Exactly. So let me address everybody so that they probably, probably have similar issues. So
Look,
I
like people
know
love to say this.
okay, Snyderverse is dead.
It's
Okay.
Cavill wasn't coming back. Yeah.
DCEU.
Oh
Yeah.
God, we're not arguing these against CG. So
No,
let him
we're
finish.
not
Let him
doing that.
finish.
We're not doing that. You're doing that. So let's have a talk. Let's have a heart to heart, Snyder fans.
Yes, please.
So you guys know, I love Zack Snyder. I really like him as a filmmaker. I've enjoyed all of his movies except for Sucker Punch. I'm not really a big fan of Sucker Punch, but for the most part, I've enjoyed his films, and I've enjoyed what he's done with the DC movies, regardless of like the stuff that WB wanted to push on him with making a cinematic universe or having him do these weird decisions with the characters. Like I still like his vision, and I really loved what he did with the Snyder Cut. I really do, and I want to see Justice League 2 and 3 just as much as you guys. I want that to happen. Of course I do. But we have to be realistic here. We have to be.
Huh? You lost me.
Yeah, we have to use logic, logic here. I don't know how likely that's going to be that we're going to get the exact vision that Snyder wanted for 2 and 3 to this point because he has other priorities now. He's doing a whole bunch of stuff on Netflix. WB still doesn't 100% want to bring him back. Even with the new regime, they're still unsure of bringing him back. And even if they wanted to do Justice League 2 and 3,
But the internet told me he's coming back.
the internet says a lot of things. Right? Like you just Google anything, and, yeah, go to Wikipedia.
You'll find it. Okay.
You'll find some
anything
crazy
you
things.
want.
You find anything you want. But even if they want to do Justice League 2 and 3, do you know how expensive that is? Do you know how much it will take to get all the actors to come back and to get all the pieces together? And then it's like
Well, it
they're
certainly
still
won't have Ezra.
unsure. I mean, and the Ezra Miller situation as well. Now, and then on top
What
of
is that
that,
noise?
That
CJ,
was,
stay on topic. That's Brian's phone.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
it's okay. It's okay. Just trying to get this out there. And on top of that, they still don't know if they want to make the 2017 version canon or this Snyder Cut canon. They're still up in the air about that, and I guess we won't truly know that until the Flash comes out and we see where they're gonna go direction wise, or if they're just gonna reset certain things.
Oh,
They're not going to reset anything. There's that reboot. Like I don't think they're going to reset anything because, like I said, reboot is a synonym for stupid. And I think that most people that are smart and are in corner offices understand that. As far as with the whole Zack Snyder thing, listen, like I said before, I was somewhere else. I said before, this thing has festered and grown into a monster because the prior management let it. Because there was no resolution. There doesn't need to be a restore to the Snyderverse. There just needs to be a resolve to the Snyderverse. Hashtag conclude the Snyderverse. Until they do something like that, it does not need to be in 2 or 3 movies or anything like that. But the biggest thing that has always hurt them is credibility. Why am I going to give you any of my new money when you mishandled my old? Why should I invest my time in months and years into these storylines when at any point in time you could pull the rug out from under me? And until they resolve that for their own credibility in some way, shape, or form, it's always going to hang over any versions of the management's ways. Now, as far as how it happens, it doesn't need to happen now. See, the most important thing that people don't realize that happened with Black Adam is there is no even hope for anything without Superman on the chessboard. There is no game without certain things in play. So the first step is having, he's the most important part of all of that vision. He's back on the playing field. Now we just sit back and wait and see who, let the 2 chess players, all the chess players make their next move. It doesn't all have to happen in 3 months. What you're saying is an absolute, but it only if you're thinking like in the next 3 to 6 months. It doesn't have to even be that way. Let these guys who seem to be on a right path lay out a landscape, and then at some point in time, if it fits, we can do things. But as far as Zach being busy at Netflix, listen, people can walk and chew gum at the same time. Ridley Scott was at 82, 83 years old working on 3 films simultaneously.
Yeah, that doesn't mean that was good.
Yeah, but you know what? Two of them were Oscar nominated, so he's doing okay. Like I said, we think that the capabilities of these people who are in the 1 percentile of their field, and we kind of line them up with me. I couldn't do it. I'm a bonehead. I couldn't direct this mouse going from left to right. But I'm not a director. I'm not a professional producer. I don't have the resources. I don't have studios where I can do multiple projects in the same studio, in the same sound stages if I want to. So the capabilities of what we're thinking is beneath what these guys can actually do. Not saying that this is going to happen, but a lot of these factors, it's just a matter of wait. We got the first step to whatever. The most important thing is on the chessboard is Superman. Henry Cavill's Superman. Now we go forward. All these people that he's casted are still there. And there's you have time to just let it roll out. I couldn't say that 6 months ago because you had mismanagement involved. But like I said, I like where they're headed. And the fact that he tells you we're not going to do everything that you guys want. But the most important thing is that you know that we hear you. I didn't hear that in 2013 all the way to 2021.
Okay, I'm going to use the word reboot, obviously.
Oh, my God.
But could they do a soft reboot where Black Adam is kind of the start of this? It's still the same universe, but they actually have a plan going forward.
What you're saying is a realignment. Yeah, they could definitely doing that now. That's pretty much what I think they're doing now. Is change the focus of the same universe instead of trying to reboot the universe. That's kind of what they're doing.
So they
now.
could go like Batman, Superman, blah blah blah, with Henry Cavill and Ben Affleck and all that, right?
If Ben Affleck wants to come back, But I say all this to say, like, I'm not going to completely write out the possibility of us getting Justice League 2 and 3 from Zack Snyder, but like, I just have to be realistic of where WB is, right now and what direction they want to go into. I'm open to them going in a new direction, because I've liked the most of the DC films that we've gotten up until this point. I'm a DC fan, even though I'm a Snyder. I like Snyder's movies. I'm a DC fan before I'm a Snyder fan. So that's bottom line. And at the end of the day, I want good DC movies. But if they want to go in a different direction than what Snyder's doing, as long as it's good, as long as you're giving all these DC characters equal attention and you're putting Batman, Wonder Woman, and Superman front and center, I'll be okay with whatever direction they want to go into. But if I'm wrong, and like 5-10 years down the line, we get Justice League 2 and 3 somehow, some way, I will be just as excited as I was, when the first movie came out. So
I mean, there's more characters in the intro for DC than there are movies.
Right, so this is their chance for them to expand the DC, pantheon and give these other characters their own movies. We're about to get a Blue Beetle film, so they're expanding. Hopefully we'll get a Green Lantern movie at some point. We're about to get Aquaman 2, Shazam 2, Wonder Woman 3. So they're starting to branch out the DC universe more, so I just hope they
need Darkseid to come back to rein all this shit in a few years.
They do. They can't,
make a big event. Yes.
Right. So
and that's why I think it's going to happen. That's how I think it's going to happen. I think what the current creators are doing will eventually line up to that eventuality, because the biggest bad that they currently have out there.
And then you can pick and choose what you want to continue.
Exactly. You can pretty much make a composite storyline. Would it be exactly how it would have ended? But no, I don't need it to be. I just need a resolution to the biggest thing that they had started, in order to completely trust them going forward. But at what time frame it happens, it doesn't have to happen anytime soon. Here's the thing, though. As long as you have a plan in place and there's just not this void of nothingness, because like I said, when you leave gaps, people fill those gaps with bullshit. YouTubers fill that gap with bullshit. Pundits fill that gap with bullshit. When you don't have a plan, somebody starts speculating about the plan you should have. There's a plan. So let's see what I'm more than willing to see what the plan is.
Yeah, let's have an
Their
open
plan
mind.
Could be Crisis with like combining all these.
It could, but like they have to be well established before they even think about touching Crisis.
Yeah, otherwise you're going to confuse a lot of people, and if you confuse people, they will not give you their money the second.
Well, I mean, they do it in the CW shows.
Yeah, and it's garbage.
Yeah,
garbage.
$12 budget. You're talking about hundreds of millions of dollars on the line. So I don't know.
So if they're smart, they would, they have to get everything else right and in order before they even do that. So hopefully they won't make the same mistake. But I just ask Snyder fans and DC fans, Marvel fans, just have an open mind.